Oh, darling. Duchess Dollars here. While you are sitting there trying to figure out how to make ends meet, Swiss billionaires are sitting in their chalets counting money they made while sleeping. The difference? They follow rules that most people are too broke to even understand. And trust me, being broke is a choice I would never make. It clashes horribly with my lifestyle. Listen closely, because I am about to save you from a lifetime of shopping at discount stores and driving vehicles with cloth seats. Imagine touching fabric every time you get in your car. The horror. You deserve better, and Mr. Millionaire agrees. He actually suggested I keep this information to myself, but I told him, darling, I need to help these women. Not everyone was lucky enough to marry you. Swiss people created one of the wealthiest nations on earth with nothing but mountains and snow. No beaches, no natural resources, not even anyone wanting to invade them. Yet everyone wants to put their money there. Why? Because Swiss bankers are not playing the same game as everyone else. They are playing chess while the rest of the world is playing checkers, and with knockoff checker pieces at that. Rule number 1. If you are not worried about your investments, you are not investing properly. Yes, you heard me. That little savings account giving you 2% interest? That is not an investment, darling. That is financial purgatory. Real wealth comes from risk, and risk does not feel comfortable. It should feel like wearing 6-inch Louboutins to a standing dinner, painful but worth it for how it makes you. Look, when I told Mr. Millionaire I was buying into a startup last year, he nearly choked on his caviar. Duchess, that company has no proven business model, he said. I replied, neither did I when you married me, and look how well that investment turned out. 6 months later, my investment tripled. His face was priceless, almost as priceless as my new handbag purchased with the profits. Now he asks for my investment advice, which I give him, sometimes. Rule number 2, never invest what you can afford to lose. Wait, what? Yes. This goes against everything those finance bros on TikTok tell you. The Swiss billionaires know that if you only invest what does not matter to you, the returns will not matter either. If you put $20 into something and it grows 10 times, you have $200. Congratulations, you can now afford dinner for 2 at Olive Garden. I would rather starve than eat there, but you do you, sweetie. I am not saying bet your house payment, but if the amount does not make you slightly nervous, the return will not make you excited either. When I started investing, I put in money that would hurt to lose. Not devastate me, but definitely make me have to reschedule my monthly spa treatment. That pain kept me sharp. I researched like my Brazilian blowout depended on it. My friend, let us call her Basic Betty, only invests her spare change through one of those roundup apps. After a year, she had enough for a new pair of shoes. Not Manolo Blahniks, mind you. More like those comfort brands with orthopedic support. Meanwhile, I took a calculated risk and bought my own private island. Tiny, yes, but mine. See the difference? Rule number 3, diversification is for amateurs. Another shocking one, right? While everyone tells you to spread your money around, Swiss billionaires focus their wealth where they have an edge. Having $1 in 50 different investments equals the same poverty you started with. Having $1,000 in 5 investments you understand deeply, that is how generational wealth begins. I once watched a financial advisor tell a woman to put her money in 20 different funds to be safe. She ended up with a 2% return overall. I put mine in 3 areas I actually understood: luxury real estate, high-end beauty startups, and a premium water company, because rich people will literally pay for anything with fancy packaging, and made 42%. Diversification is just another word for, I have no idea what I am doing, so I will do everything. Warren Buffett once said diversification is protection against ignorance. Swiss billionaires would say it is admission of ignorance. And nothing says, I am poor, like admitting you do not know things. Rich people never admit ignorance. We just change the subject to something we know about, like which Caribbean island has the best tax benefits. Rule number 4, know when to walk away. This might be the most important rule of all. Greed is the #1 killer of good investments. Think about Vegas casinos. They make billions not because people never win, but because winners never leave. They hit the jackpot and think, just a little more. Then they lose everything and go home to their sad little apartments to eat ramen noodles. I always set limits. It is like dating. Know your value and be willing to walk away. Last month, a cryptocurrency I invested in doubled in value. Everyone was saying it would go up another 300%. My group chat of wannabe rich girls was blowing up with hodl and to the moon. Nonsense. You know what I did? I sold half immediately. The crypto crashed the next week. Now I have my profit secure in my account while others are posting sad face emojis on Reddit. Poor things, literally. My second husband, not Mr. Millionaire, the one before him, lost everything this way. He made millions in tech stocks, refused to sell at the peak because it is just getting started, baby, and then lost it all in the crash. That is why he became my ex-husband. I do not associate with poor decision makers. It is bad for my personal brand. Rule number 5, never trust predictions, especially from people who sell predictions. Swiss billionaires understand something crucial. Financial markets are made of humans, and humans are unpredictable. These experts is making market predictions. They make 20 predictions and then only talk about the one that came true. It is like those psychics who tell you vague things until something sticks. I remember when everyone said real estate would never crash in 2007. These same experts were selling books called Get Rich in Real Estate with No Money Down. My Swiss banker friend sold all his properties in 2006. When I asked him how he knew, he said he did not know. He just saw too many people making the same bet, which is always dangerous. When my housekeeper asked me how to flip houses, he said, I knew it was time to get out. Smart man. Sexist comment, but smart man. Have you noticed how these prediction people always look the same? Men in ill-fitting suits with too white teeth telling you they can predict the future. If they could actually predict markets, would they need to sell you a $20 newsletter? No. They would be on their yachts, not making YouTube thumbnails with shocked faces. Real wealthy people are too busy being wealthy to tell you how to get wealthy. Rule number 6, do the opposite of the crowd. When everyone is buying, Swiss billionaires are selling. When everyone is selling, they are buying. This is why they wear Patek Philippe watches while the masses check time on their phones. Swimming upstream is uncomfortable, but that is where the money is. At a dinner party last year, every guest was talking about the same tech stock. The excitement was palpable. One woman even showed me she had liquidated her children's college fund to buy more shares. I smiled, excused myself, and immediately called my broker to sell all my shares in that company. The stock dropped 40% within 2 months. I sent that woman a gift basket. Not because I am nice, I am not, but because I need her to keep making these mistakes for my strategy to work. Remember Bitcoin in 2017? Everyone was mortgaging their homes to buy at $20,000. The smart money had already bought at $200 and was quietly selling to these latecomers. Then when it crashed to $3,000 and people called it dead, guess who was buying again? Not the people who need my advice. That is for sure. They were too busy licking their wounds and writing angry tweets about cryptocurrency being a scam. The masses are asses, darling. If everyone is running right, look left. That is where the treasure is hidden. When all the girls in my yoga class were buying exercise bike stocks during the pandemic, I was quietly investing in travel companies. Guess which ones rebounded like crazy once lockdowns ended? I am now taking private jets while they are still pedaling nowhere in their spare bedrooms. Rule number 7, set exit goals before you enter. Swiss billionaires do not just throw money at investments and hope. They decide exactly what return they want before they invest a single franc. When they hit that number, they sell, regardless of what Reddit forums or CNBC are saying. Emotions have no place in wealth building, unless we are talking about the emotion of superiority I feel when my investments succeed. I bought shares in a luxury brand 2 years ago and decided I would sell at a 50% gain. When it hit, exactly that, I sold everything. My investment group chat exploded. Why would you sell? It is going to double again, they cried. Did it keep going up another 20% after? Yes. Do I care? No. I met my goal, and that discipline is why my walk-in closet needs its own zip code while they are still organizing capsule wardrobes to maximize their 5 outfits. Setting exit goals is like setting boundaries with men. If you do not have them before you start, you will end up compromising and getting less than you deserve. And honey, you deserve to be rich. Not comfortable, not doing okay, rich. The kind of rich where you can sneeze and accidentally buy a Tesla. Rule number 8, understand that luck exists, but never rely on it. Swiss billionaires acknowledge luck, but build systems that work without it. They know the difference between good results from bad decisions and bad results from good decisions. I once made 6 figures from a meme stock. Was I a genius? No, I was lucky. But I did not then go and put all my money into the next meme stock thinking I had some special talent. Unlike my hairdresser, who made money on one lucky trade and then lost her salon betting on something called Doji Lawn Rocket or whatever. Now she works at Great Clips. The tragedy. I still tip her well when I see her, though. I am not a monster. Luck is like finding a designer bag at a thrift store. It happens, but you cannot build a wardrobe expecting it. Systems are like having a personal shopper at Bergdorf S. It costs more upfront, but the results are consistent and high quality. Build systems, not vision boards. Here is how I structure it. 30% of my portfolio is in boring investments that just work over time. 40% is in opportunities where I have insider knowledge. Yes, legal insider knowledge, like knowing which beauty brands celebrities actually use versus endorse. 20% is in crazy ideas that might explode with growth. The last 10%? That is for fun gambling on things like NFTs of digital handbags. Because even rich people need entertainment. Rule number 9. Information is more valuable than prediction. Swiss billionaires spend millions on information networks rather than crystal balls. They want to know what is happening now, not what might happen later. That is why I have lunch with my banker every month and not because I enjoy her company. She tells me which wealthy clients are quietly moving money and where. That information is worth more than any subscription newsletter predicting the next big thing. I pay for these lunches, of course. Information does not come free, and neither does my time. Last year, I noticed 3 women in my country club suddenly wearing lab-grown diamonds instead of mined ones. I did some digging and discovered a major shift happening in the jewelry industry. I invested early in a lab-grown diamond company before any financial news picked up the trend. My returns? Let us just say I could now afford to buy the country club if I wanted to. I do not want to. The food is mediocre. But I could. Rich people pay for information, poor people pay for predictions. Remember that. Join the right clubs, attend the right fundraisers, get on boards of charities. Not because you care, although caring is a nice bonus, but because that is where the real information flows. The wealthy discuss their moves in whispers at galas, not in Facebook investment groups. Rule number 10. Invest in what you understand. This seems obvious, but look around. People put their life savings into technologies they cannot explain, businesses with models they do not understand, and currencies backed by nothing but tweets from billionaires. If you cannot explain an investment to an 8-year-old, you should not be putting your money into it. Period. That is why I invest in luxury goods, high-end real estate, and premium consumer products. I understand desire, exclusivity, and what makes rich people spend money. I do not understand blockchain or artificial intelligence algorithms, so I stay away from them. My neighbor drives a Honda, poor thing, lost $200,000 investing in a quantum computing company. When I asked her to explain quantum computing, she said, "It is the future." That is not an explanation, that is a hope. And hope is not an investment strategy. She would have been better off buying 200 designer bags and selling them to rich Chinese tourists. At least she understands how handbags work. Stick to your circle of competence. Mine happens to include spotting which luxury brands will be hot next season, which neighborhoods will gentrify next, and which men have money versus which ones just lease nice cars. Develop your own expertise and invest there. Your wealth will thank you. Rule number 11, cash is not trash. Despite what inflation-obsessed finance people say, Swiss billionaires always keep substantial cash reserves. Why? Because when markets crash, and they always do eventually, cash becomes a superpower. Those without it sell at the bottom. Those with it buy at the bottom. During the 2008 crash, the truly wealthy were not panicking. They were shopping. They bought prime Manhattan real estate at 50 cents on the dollar, while the previously rich were forced to sell. My favorite Swiss banker says, "Cash is like oxygen. You do not notice it when you have it, but it is all you notice when you do not." I keep 30% of my wealth in cash equivalents at all times. My investment advisor says this is inefficient, and I am losing to inflation. But when the tech bubble burst last year, guess who was buying amazing companies at bargain prices? Not him. His clients were calling in a panic while mine were calling to thank me. Cash also gives you the ability to act fast when opportunities arise. When my favorite luxury shoe designer needed an emergency investment to avoid bankruptcy during the pandemic, I wrote a check in 24 hours and now own 15% of the company. The shoes are still uncomfortable, but now they are partially mine, which makes the pain more bearable. Rule number 12, never gamble, only calculate. Swiss billionaires do not go to casinos, and they do not play the lottery. I only gamble if the prize is a millionaire husband or a private island. Otherwise, sweetie, I prefer to bet on myself. The difference between gambling and investing is information and edge. If you are putting money into something without any information advantage, you are at the casino. And not the fancy Monaco one I visit, but the sad one with all-you-can-eat buffets and oxygen pumped in to keep you awake. I do not need to play roulette because I already hit the jackpot by understanding these principles. The only lottery worth playing is the one where you select your own numbers through strategic investing. And unlike the actual lottery, the odds are actually in your favor if you know what you are doing. Let me tell you about my friend. She buys lottery tickets every week. Someone has to win, she says. Meanwhile, her retirement account has $3,000 in it, and she is 45. I once calculated that if she had invested her lottery money over the past 20 years, she would have over $60,000 now. But that would require delayed gratification, which poor people seem allergic to. Here is a calculation worth making. How much is your time worth? If you make $30 an hour and spend 5 hours researching an investment that makes you $100, you have lost $50. Rich people understand opportunity costs. They outsource low-value tasks and focus on high-value decisions. I do not wash my own car or do my own nails, but I do personally select which companies to invest in. Know where your time creates the most value. These rules might sound shocking because they go against what all those finance influencers in their rented Lamborghinis tell you. But ask yourself, why is Switzerland so rich while those giving you advice are filming videos from their parents' basements? Swiss billionaires do not make YouTube videos about getting rich. They are too busy actually being rich and skiing in Gstaad. If you want to be truly wealthy like your girl Duchess Dollars, stop following the herd. The herd shops at Target, darling. We do not want that for you. I once went into a Target on a dare. The fluorescent lighting gave me a migraine, and I could feel my net worth dropping with every minute I spent there. I had to book an emergency spa day just to recover from the experience. Look, I could have been born rich or married rich, but I chose to learn these principles instead. And now I have both, generational wealth and Mr. Millionaire. You can too, minus my husband. He is taken, sorry, not sorry. Though between us girls, sometimes I fantasize about trading him in for Elon, but the paperwork would be exhausting. Plus, my little Chanel, my Pomeranian, not the bag, would miss him terribly. Remember when I said Swiss billionaires understand risk? Let me give you an example. Last summer, I invested in an app that delivers champagne in under 30 minutes. Everyone said it was ridiculous. Who needs emergency champagne? They asked. Well, apparently everyone, because the company tripled in value when they expanded to major cities. Sometimes the greatest risk is not taking one, like settling for a poor man. Now that is the biggest risk of all. If you want more of these wealth secrets that the average person is too broke to understand, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Yes, right now. I will wait. Did you do it? Excellent choice. Your first wealthy decision of the day. See how good that feels? Imagine making decisions like that every day. That is how the Swiss do it. Like this video if you want to be rich instead of just looking rich with your fake designer bags. I see you with that Gucci purse. The extra CE is for in cannot afford the real thing. Stop it. Your wealthy future deserves better. If there is one thing we learned today, it is that worry in investing is good. Diversification can be dangerous. Predictions are usually wrong, and the crowd is almost always poor. We discovered that Swiss billionaires think differently. And now, so do you. Your brain just got a luxury upgrade, darling. Use it wisely. Comment, rich mind. If this video changed how you think about money, I have left links to some luxurious products in the pinned comment below. Check them out if you are ready to upgrade your life. And yes, I get a commission, but I would recommend them anyway because they scream, I have arrived, instead of, I am still on my way. Next week, I will teach you how to spot a fake rich man versus a real wealthy one. Hint, real wealth whispers, fake wealth shouts, and poor men just make excuses. Speaking of which, if your man complained about the price of your last handbag, that is all you need to know about his financial future. Remember, darling, the difference between you and a wealthy woman is not luck. It is strategy, and maybe bone structure, but that is a topic for another video. Duchess Dollars out.